What's up, YouTube? Today, let's take a look at a deck that is built basically to counter all the rampant Invisible Woman first steps decks that are out there, and also, take out some other greedy decks. And we're going to do that with Supergiant. Let's get into the elevator pitch. Basic plan of this deck is to either play Wiccan or Supergiant on turn 4. If we do Wiccan, then we're going to be able to just hopefully get out a bunch of stuff on turn 5 and 6, as Wiccan does. And if we play Supergiant, we're looking to play all of our tech cards after the game ends, including after the end of turn effects end. Also, this deck is able to just take out things like Destroy, has trouble against Ongoing, but not a ton of that in the meta. And that's basically the pitch. We are just waiting until the game is over, and then taking everything out with our Shadow Kings, our Shang-Chis, our Grandmasters, and our Alioths. So that's the deck. Let's get into the card by card. Before we dive deep, if you are so inclined, please subscribe to the channel. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers. That's all I'll say about that. First card here is Kitty Pryde. This card is here as one of our 1-drops to enable Wiccan, and it's also really good for filling in your curve along the way. So sometimes you need a 1 to go with a 2 on turn 3, and Kitty Pryde is going to be there no matter how many times you play her earlier in the game. That's basically the whole reason she's here. She can get decently big and just a way to get to Wiccan. Zabu's here because we have 3 4s in the deck. It's just a 1-drop for the early game, and then to potentially be able to get a Wiccan down on turn 3. Shang getting a discount is also nice. Maria Hill is here for Wiccan. It's going to get you a 2-drop if you end up needing it, and that's it. Every now and then she gets you something crazy, but Shadow King is very important tech in this meta. It's able to bring all of the end of turn cards back down, so Havoc's back down to 0, Athena's back to 0, Sunspot. It also just takes care of other ancillary buff things like in Surfer, so very important card. Grandmaster is usually trying to move over a Shadow King, but can also move a Shang at the end of the game. Can move Alioth if you get into that position, so can also be very important. Merlin's here, just has a lot of utility, all the skills it creates. It's basically the only way this deck has of dealing with difficult locations, and then the other cards just sometimes help. Sometimes you just need a polymorph here or there. And not to mention, the skills themselves can be like filler, like Kitty Pryde is, to get you to a Wiccan. Invisible Woman, this is if you don't see Supergiant and you're trying to beat those end of turn decks. It's recently buffed, so that helps being a 2-4, and then this card is just going to allow you to hide Killmongers back there, hide your Shadow Kings, Shangs, whatever it is you need for tech at the end of the game. Killmonger, if you run into things like Zoo or Deadpools, whatever it is, Killmonger is just pretty strong. Every now and then you're going to run into decks that aren't end of turn decks, and even if you do, Sunspot goes down with Killmonger. Shang-Chi, this is for everything else, for all the Destroy, for all the crazy stuff you might run into. Shang's here to mop it up. Very important in this meta. I wouldn't leave home without it. Wiccan. Everybody knows how strong Wiccan can be when played on curve, and sometimes with Zabu you can even play it a turn early. This enables us to play Alioth alongside other things at the end of the game, which is very, very good. Then you got Supergiant. This is the card that makes this particular version of the deck work. You can get by without it, but having it in the deck allows you to really mess up the curve of an end of turn deck. They have a lot harder time playing Invisible Woman and playing Prodigy if you play a Supergiant on turn 4. And usually it doesn't matter if you have priority or not, because Alioth can be played on turn 6 to hit whatever they hit under Supergiant, and everything else you kind of don't want priority because your Supergiant stuff will resolve after theirs in that scenario. Tricky card, but takes a little bit of work to get. And then we have Alioth. This card used to be a boogeyman. It's still very difficult to deal with, and playing this card on their unrevealed Supergiant cards, or if they happen to be playing ahead of you in priority, other way around, this can just really mess up a game plan. And even you would think this is normally a card you want to play with priority, but Supergiant allows you to play it even when you don't have priority to knock out those cards they hid. And that is the whole deck. End of the season here as I'm recording this. Did okay when playing against any end of turn decks, and I think everybody knows how prevalent they are right now in the meta. That won't be forever, but for now, playing this deck, and we'll see how things go. Take a look at this gameplay and come back after, and I'll wrap things up. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is the Invisible Woman deck. Maybe not. Quinjet, and it's not Thanos. Maybe we just Invisible Woman over here. Oh. Well, that's nice. We can just Wiccan right now. We can Wiccan and Supergiant if we want to get crazy. Kind of like that. This is an end of turn deck. Okay. So this is the Supergiant turn. We want to probably play Shadow King, and we're going to save Alioth for turn 6 to play on Sinister London. Maybe. Or we're just doing like Shang. Okay. I think we want to maybe just play Zabu. Actually, we might as well play all this. Yeah. Wow, they didn't draw Invisible Woman. And we have priority. Okay. So Alioth. Shang here. Or do we just allow Alioth to come over? And then Shadow King, probably. So we can Shang here just in case. Alright. Nice with the Alioth. And then Shadow King for the win. Sweet. That's how it's supposed to work. A lot of Sam Wilson suddenly today. Since I have Zabu and Maria and Invisible Woman in hand, that means I don't need to play Maria for the 2. So I'm just going to play Zabu, and I'm going to go middle, so it doesn't take up a side lane Grandmaster possibility. Oh, and now it's going to be a Hulk. How nice. Actually, oh, I was going to switch that so Wiccan can definitely reveal over here if I wanted to. But I guess we'll just settle for over here now. Okay, 7 turns. This is a game where we definitely want to see Shang now that we got Hulks about. I think we'll just wait. Wait on Shadow King. War Machine. That makes sense. Okay, there's the Shang. Super Giant would have been nice. Pass. Okay, now we just need Grandmaster. Sick. So maybe we do this now so we have a good chance of Eliathing next turn. And Killmonger and Ghost Rider are still coming. If we draw Kitty or Merlin, we'll have enough to play everything next turn. So let's do that. Okay. So that lane's dead. Now we protect with Eliath and then just play this stuff here. Protect the Hulk. I probably should have snapped last turn before the Shang-Chi play. Okay. Legion. Scarlet Witch. Fun. Okay, we have rocks. Oh. Oh. Okay, the sandbar giveth, the sandbar taketh away. Let's just get this down. Just to keep our Wiccan curve going. Oh, come on. Everything's trying to mess with Wiccan. We didn't draw it anyway. We have super giants. Maybe we just go for the super giant plan. Okay. So we're being super aggressive because this is just trying to blast through some gold tickets. So we're pretty much going to snap all the time. Since we have Invisible Woman in hand, I'm just going to play Kitty. Over here. Get down Sue. I guess we'll play Killmonger. We still don't actually know what the opponent's playing. Alright, we could do Merlin. We'll do it there. Rogue. Oh. It's not kind. We do have the Goliath though for that. Just Wiccan Omniversal. Sarah. Okay, so I guess the plan's just Alioth, and maybe we hit Alioth Grandmaster. We could just do it over here to be safer. I don't really know what they're playing here, but I'd rather guaranteed hit the Alioth and do these two lanes. Alright. Hoping that was enough. What was the copycat? Alioth. Alright, cool. So Alioth over here would have won too. Let's play Maria middle. Oh. Well, I think we're just going to play Merlin and decide if we want to Omniversal that at the end of the game, assuming we get one. Okay. Well, it stinks to lose the Wiccan potential. Guess polymorph and invis. Sweet elixir. Okay, we have Omniversal. Just play down a Shang here, I think. Kind of just want to play Alioth right now. We could polymorph here. Okay. Another rogue. So okay. We didn't actually draw great, but I'm just trying to get through some of these gold tickets. And it's the middle of the night, the day before reset, so that's what we're doing. This is probably the end of turn deck with Marvel Boy. That was probably actually right to have snapped anyway, especially with Supergiant in hand. Okay, maybe it's not that deck. We'll Killmonger there. And then Supergiant next turn. Okay, this Killmonger is going to be brutal for them. I imagine them filling the raft, so this should be fine. Okay. So one, two, so this is gonna be 5. So we're gonna win the middle, barring something like Khazar coming down. So maybe we just play like Shang over here. And then just clean it up with Shadow King. Oh no. Not the Nova. I hope this isn't Khazar. A blue marble. We're still good, I think. Yeah, we're still good. thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that gameplay. A little bit rushed today, just trying to get to sleep, but if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment down below if you'd like to say anything about the deck or anything in general. I reply to every single comment. We'll be back with some new decks in the new season. Thanks for watching, everybody. Later.